if God gave me the anger, he gave it to me to teach me to overcome it, to make me a better person.
So you believe that God gave you the anger?
Man, this is, it's getting pretty sticky, but I will, I guess, yeah, I would have to say. Yeah.
Alex, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Peterson.
Good morning, sir.
First off, very quick, I just want to thank you for being the voice of saying everything most are afraid to say. You're not credited enough for it. So thank you for doing the Lord's work.
You're welcome.
I would just like to answer the question.
The biblical
my
question?
life makes perfect sense to me.
Does your life make sense? And you said, yes, it does make sense?
Yes, sir.
And what about your life that makes sense?
Just fulfilling obligations and responsibilities. Without responsibility or any goal, I don't think you could feel fulfilled, you know? And I think that's the main issue a lot of people are going through.
And so responsibility causes you to feel fulfilled?
Well, yes. When you're taking everything, when you're doing everything you need to do, there's a sense of fulfillment in that and enjoyment that you get where you don't really get it where you're instantly gratified, if that makes sense.
And so if you didn't fulfill your responsibility, if you didn't do your responsibility or carry out your responsibility, you would be fulfilled?
Well, I think the main reason I feel fulfilled is because I put it my highest obligation to fulfill my responsibilities. I take care of both of my parents right now. I work 2 jobs. So really, I don't really have any room to drop the ball. So as long as I keep fulfilling my responsibilities and making sure that my family's happy, I feel pretty much fulfilled and I have purpose.
And why is it your responsibility to make sure your parents are happy?
I think that's just how I grew up. My family, I am a first-generation citizen in the United States. My family fled from Bosnia in 1992. So we're just very religious and very family-oriented. So this is kind of like my familial role in a sense.
Really? Do you have your own family? Do you have a wife and kids?
No, I do not. I'm currently 29 years old. I'm single. I'm not married with no kids.
And do you want to get married, have kids?
Absolutely.
And how
Catholic,
will you
so
do that if you're so tied down to your daddy and mama?
Well, honestly, I don't really look for a relationship. I just go to church and I kind of feel like the right woman is going to implement herself into my life, especially these days on the dating market. What I have going on, there's not really ideal candidates to put into the position, so I'm not really rushing it. I'm not really a bad-looking person. I'm very tall and very fit, so I'm not really worried about it, you know.
And so,
I don't do drugs or anything like that.
Why don't your father and mother take care of themselves?
Well, my father's blind, and my mom, she worked for the post office, and she got ran over by her supervisor, so she can't walk.
What?
Right.
So you stuck for the rest of your life until they die, huh?
I wouldn't really call it stuck. I mean, it's my family. I love my family.
Amazing. Well, thank you for responding to the biblical question. So you're saying your life makes sense because you're getting the fulfillment from working, being responsible, and taking care of your parents, right?
Right, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in the church my whole life, so this is kind of like the expectation and the rules that I grew up, by. I grew up extremely Catholic, so this is like normal. I don't really know it any other way.
Right. And when you say expectation, from who?
I think my expectations are just from myself. I have a high sense of self-worth, so I feel like to maintain that, I have to hold myself accountable.
Amazing. Do you have anger?
Sometimes, but you have to look at the whole situation and be humble about it. You have to talk to God about it. Surround yourself with God-loving people, because sometimes God can communicate to you through people or through actions or ways. So your best chance to get through is just surround your people of the liking. Birds
Right.
of a feather flock together.
Do you think that God wants you to rely on people?
No. I think he wants me to rely on myself and my faith. But he gives me all the tools I need. I know if there's a storm, I know there's sun at the end of it. I don't fret. I don't really get carried away. Just try to stay focused.
Right on. And do you believe that you can live a life without no anger at all? Period.
No, I do not.
And why not? You say you've been going to church all your life. Why don't you believe that you can live a life with no anger? Period.
Because I feel like it's somewhat unrealistic. I feel like some people can get you worked up and angry, but I feel like it's not really a sin until you act out on that anger. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone's entitled to be kind of respectful at the same time. Just because you're angry about something doesn't mean you have to lash out. So in a way, I feel like you can still possess some type of anger and not act on it. But I totally agree on your stance of that anger and substances promote sinning behavior. So it's a two-way street.
How you say you're 28?
29.
29. So you've been in church all your life, and do you believe that Christ came to bring anger or to defeat anger?
I feel like to defeat anger, there has to be a somewhat existence of anger to defeat it. So
But you say you have it, so it does exist, right?
yes.
And so as it exists, why hasn't he defeated it in you?
To be honest, that would have to be a question I asked and I received an answer for. Honestly, I couldn't tell you at this moment.
Okay.
It's a great question.
One last thing about the anger thing. Do you believe anger is of God or of the devil?
I think it's of the devil, because if something makes you angry, generally, I would assume that it's out of a situation where you didn't agree with someone, or a point where they were coming from, or you were coveting something. So in a way, yeah, I would say it's tied to sin.
So if you believe it's of the devil, and it is, and you are a son of God, why would you not believe that you can't overcome it completely? Since the Father doesn't have it in him, God, why do you think you should have it at all if you're of the Father?
Well, I really don't think I should have it. But the reason that I have it, and if he is the Almighty Creator, so it was instilled in me through him. So in a way, I kind of feel like the anger is a necessity for you to learn how to overcome it, because God gives you the tools that you need to get through any detriments mentally or physically that you're facing, or spiritually.
You believe that God gave you the anger?
If God gave me the anger, he gave it to me to teach me to overcome it, to make me a better person.
So you believe that God gave you the anger?
Man, this is it's getting pretty sticky, but I will. I guess, yeah, I would have to say, yeah.
If there's
I'm
anger,
double dutching.
If there's no anger in him, how could he give you something that doesn't exist inside of him?
I understand what you're saying, but at
no,
the
that
same
was a
time,
question.
If I possess anger and he's the creator of all things, then I kind of feel like he had to instill somewhat of an anger in me. Now, if that was to teach me something about myself that I haven't learned yet, or something of that nature, but the possession of anger doesn't mean that you have to act out on it.
Hey, but God of all love and no anger in his nature, and he only have love, why would he give you anger, which is of the devil, to teach you something?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you.
Amazing.
I do not have an answer for you.
Nice. At least you're aware of that. You're not making up something. Alex,
no,
amazing call, man. Thank you so much, and thanks for responding to the biblical question. Call me again, all right?
All right, thank you, sir. God bless. And for everyone watching, I hope everyone has a blessed day. Stay safe out there. Keep making the right decisions. And keep going to church and love God.
Amazing.
God bless you. Have a great day, sir.
You too, buddy.